Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. What's good, what's good, what's good? I hope all is well with you and yours. What's going on? I mean, besides a lot. You know what I mean? Besides a lot. There's a lot going on, actually. Hope your week was good. I hope our next week is better, or this week is better. Not really getting a ton of movement on anything. You know, I mean, it seems like right now Bitcoin's just at 107. It doesn't want to do anything else. It's just 107. It's moving sideways on 107. Okay, not mad about that. It is what it is. But, you know, over the past week, a lot has happened. A lot has happened over the past week. And that's what makes it a little bit nuts. Hey, Paula, thank you for letting me know that you invested in yourself today. So what do we have that happened this week? Let's see, I don't know, market volatility and geopolitical impacts, corporate investments and institutional adoption, legal and regulatory developments, meme coins and speculative trends, stablecoins and DeFi innovations. Yup, that was big. And then we have market outlook and analyst predictions. Tom Lee of Fundstrat, for instance, thinks that by 2028, Bitcoin's going to be a $1 million. Well, not him. Arthur Hayes thinks it's going to be $1 million by 2028. Tom Lee believes, he's a Fundstrat, believes that the stock market will rally post the Iran debacle is what I'll call it. HBCU maker, what's good, what's good, what's good. Yeah, a ton of manipulation. I think one of the things that kind of blew my mind was that basically slid underneath the radar. Nobody's talking about it. I saw a single article about, well, maybe one or two articles about it, maybe two or three. So World Liberty Financial got a $100 million investment from the UAE. And absolutely no one is talking about it. The new regime has a direct tie to something, and nobody's saying jack. And you sit there and you're kind of like, but we're going to save money. Here's what I see coming up in the very near future. Sadly, I think that the big BM of a bill some rendition of it is going to wind up getting passed. I think that the fat cats in the government, in Congress, are going to push it forward. I think millions of people are going to feel the pain, both from a lack of benefits perspective, lack of hospitals. Take Kentucky. Kentucky's going to have two hospitals, side-by-side counties, both of them close, whacking 20,000 jobs in an industry that's burgeoning, actually, that we're not even burgeoning, that there's an extreme need. 20,000 jobs. I thought we were going to be bringing back jobs. We don't seem to be paying attention to this stuff. Yo, big man Richie Rich in the house. Rick Ritchie, sorry. And thank you for letting me know that you invested in yourself, because it's a very big deal that some of the OGs of this channel, of this community, let everybody know that even they get out there and invest in themselves, right? It's a very big deal because there are a lot of newbies. There are a lot of new people to the community. Welcome. Appreciate you. And it needs to be an everyday thing that we need to invest in ourselves, right? A lot of people are so busy. It's not that you don't necessarily know that you should invest in yourself. It's that you become so busy with everything else. And this is one of the things that I'm saying to people that, yeah, no, this is for you. You need to invest in yourself. So do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. That's for you. That's your own personal growth. That's huge. You have no idea. You have no idea how big of a deal that is. Yo, Mr. Big in his house had to invest in a new refrigerator. Damn. So you're not happy. Wish Home Depot took crypto. Oh, I'm dead. So up here, we have people that will change out their whole kitchens, whole parts of their homes, and literally throw it away. We're talking new furniture, only been in use for like 2 years. Nobody sits in the living room. I don't know about you, but nobody in my house sits in the living room. I could have milk crates in the living room and everybody would say, "Oh, that's beautiful," as they walk to the kitchen. Like, seriously. Dead serious. Right? My brother doesn't even go upstairs. He comes down here to my office. He sits on the big, beautiful couch that I have over there, and he just relaxes. He relaxes. Actually, I kind of make sure that he relaxes. It's like a demand. It's the only time I actually demand things from him. But we have a guy on our block who does a lot of handiwork, and he comes across those houses. And I'll be like, "Yo, Sean, do me a favor. Make sure if you find a big refrigerator, let me know. I need one." Next thing you know, there's a refrigerator in my garage, or a refrigerator in my driveway. "Yo, found one." Not even looking to sell it to me. Just, he didn't have to pay anything, and so he dropped it off. That's what's up. "Yo, Hutanic into his house." Again, this is a piece of cake. If your target is 2028. Dollar cost averaging, go do your job. Damn. Yo, Hutanic just came out on a Sunday swinging, choosing violence, swinging. Wow. Add to the DCA when you can. Yes. You have to have at least one bag long to arbitrage AI taking your income from a job. No. I don't look at it as AI taking your job. I think of it as you relinquishing your job to AI. A lot of people are going to have something to say about that. And I'm sorry, Mr. Big. I'm not trying to rub it in. But my example was, find somebody in your neighborhood. There might be somebody in your neighborhood who does handyman services that might come across something like that. You slip them a 50. Next thing you know, there's some big stuff in your living room. You know, just whatever you need. I had, and it's a give and take. Like I had an older, huge. I didn't feel like paying to have the engine redone and not redone, but like, you know, checked up and touched up and all that good stuff. And I didn't feel like paying for all that. I don't use it. Over the past 2.5 seasons, I haven't used that snowblower. And when I say it's huge, I mean it is apartment complex huge. Like it's big, right? Like it can do a whole sidewalk. Boom. And so I'm like, I'm not using it. I know that you could use it. I know, you know, so you want it. And I just dropped it off at his house. It's a really good give and take. Anywho, if you have somebody in the neighborhood, it might work for you to actually find somebody to trade with. 8 Paws, what's going on? Aloha. So just looking at a bunch of stuff, I don't understand how, World Liberty Financial gets $100 million investment from the UAE. That's like sliding money directly into the new regime's pocket, and nobody's paying attention to it. That bothers me. I don't know. Doesn't bother you. Bothers me. Right? Do I think this? Something else that came up this week. Yo, Enrique invested himself today. That's what's up. So over the past week, we've had a whole bunch of stuff. Right? We've had a whole lot of stuff go on. We got Ripple that got kicked in the teeth from the government because Ripple was just Brad Garlinghouse is, I have to clarify, Brad Garlinghouse is a CEO that I kind of agree with a lot of the stuff that he's doing for his company. It's Brian Armstrong that I don't like at all, right? Just because of what he's done, what he's shown me, just how he does things. I just don't like the guy. But Brad Garlinghouse I like. I made that mistake a couple of days ago. I just want to make sure I clarified it that night, but I want to make sure that I clarify it again today. Again, I'm not perfect. I am imperfect. I am imperfectly me, as we all are. So I don't know everything. I can't do everything. So That's why this community exists, right? Because I can't research everything. None of us can. But if we pool our resources, we'll find out a lot about a lot of stuff. And it'll help us to grow our respective bags. Now, as I was saying, some people are thinking that there is going to be a summer rally. So far, it is proving to not be true. Why do I say that? I say that because I opened up with the market has been, Bitcoin's been at 107, period, flat. It's going like that along 107. Now it had dropped down to 98. Now it's back up to 107. Some people might say, oh, it's too late for me to get in. Woo-saw. No, it is not too late for you to get into the crypto market. It is not too late for you to get into stocks. It's not too late for you to get into bonds, treasuries, all this stuff. Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately, please. You want to learn a little something? That's Stitch going nuts. You want to learn a little something? Go buy both of my books. They will give you a really rock solid foundation on a perspective, right? One will give you a foundation on crypto. Another one will give you a clear foundation on how to leverage the GMB3, which is do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. And one of the books, I will tell you right now, one of the books is really tiny. The one on crypto foundations is really tiny. But the information in the book is huge. Huge. Okay? So you want to learn, if you're new, go buy the books. It doesn't cost a lot. Go buy the books. They're both on Amazon. Just look up Eddie Johnson. You'll be able to find them. Or you can hit the links that are in my bios and all that good stuff. I know, shameless pimping of my books. But, nobody else is going to do it. Well, that's not true. Hutanic did it. A few people have done it. But the idea is that we've had a lot happen over the past week that fall into different spaces, right? Tom Lee, a fund strat, predicting the stock market, rally post the Iran strikes. Now, here's the problem. Nobody's paying attention, and I don't think anybody was listening when Trump said, well, if the intelligence community comes back and says that, what we did before, had no effect, then I guess we'll have to bomb them again. Don't believe me? Go do your own research. I'm not even going to go walk into that. I'm telling you what I saw. I'm telling you what I heard. I did my research. You can do yours. I'm cool with that. I actually want that. I beg for it. So you're going to do your own research. Great. So you're finally going to admit that, your own idea that something was obliterated, that's not a thing. From a military perspective, that's not a thing. And because you don't declare that you obliterated something 10 minutes after something happened, you have no verification, and all the intelligence is saying that, yeah, that didn't happen. So if it didn't happen, we're going to bomb them again. There's risk in that. There's risk in that. And what did I tell you? We're paying attention to that. We're not paying attention to the tariffs. We're not paying attention to the big BM of a bill getting through the Senate. Now it goes back to the House. There were revisions made. There could be more revisions made. And I'm confident that it's going to wind up on the new regime's desk. Here's the problem. You're going to have, like I gave the example, a 20,000 job hit on, sorry, my family's probably going to be loud because, we have a whole bunch of people in the house. But you're going to have a 20,000 person hit on jobs just in Kentucky alone. And mind you, the senator of Kentucky is who? So that's jobs. That's a job impact. So clearly that is an economic impact from a state that already has a weak economy. Then you've got things like that in the bill. You have people that are going to miss benefits. It's going to be a huge hit. A huge hit. Those are just examples. So when I say that investing it could wind up possibly being your only way of making ends meet. I'm not kidding. I'm very, very much serious. Having a job, I don't think is going to be enough for a lot of people. Having 2 jobs, maybe even 3 jobs, is not going to be enough. I mean, I want you to stop and think about that. There are people in our country that are working 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet. And the big BM of a bill clearly benefits the wealthy and corporations and hurts everybody else. Hurts everybody else. And by the time these people start to realize, because if you notice, people are starting to realize that their wallets are hurting. But it's taking time. People that voted in this regime, it's taking time for at the various levels for them to get hit with, oh wow, that's not what I thought it was going to be. And they're realizing, and that's the pain. So we're going to have a massive economic hit when that bill hits the new regime's desk. It'll be a big fanfare. It'll be a whole big deal. It might be beautiful for some people, but it's BM to the rest of us. Higher costs of living all around the board. Don't believe me? Okay. How much are eggs? Notice how nobody's talking about the cost of eggs right now, but how much are eggs? Have those prices gone down? About this much compared to what? Previous month. So looking at all of that, that's what's going to hit us this coming week, next 2 weeks. Do you know what kind of catalyst we would have to have from a good news perspective for those of us that can afford to invest? I want you to stop and think about this. There are people out there that do not believe that they can invest. Okay? And there are people out there that actually don't have enough to invest. So it makes the number of people, the pool of people that actually are investing, understanding that space, that are paying attention, right? So it's necessary. It's absolutely necessary to invest. Your job, not going to be enough. And there are a lot of people looking at their job, looking at AI and saying to themselves, I could be out of a job. I'm going to have to retool myself to find a job. If you're a project manager, you better retool. You better retool fast. Technology-wise, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. So the only good news that I see that is being held back, right, are the ETFs. And I have to tell you, I don't know that an ETF being approved is going to be enough to be a positive catalyst. Yeah, I look at everything as when I see big news out of the government, I immediately look for other things that is not big news, because that's what's actually going to affect my bags. Oh, we're going to pass the big, BM of a bill. That's great. What's in the bill? I heard that no tax on tips is going to be in the bill. Everybody's like, oh, that's awesome. That's great. That's great. That's great. Except that people aren't going to remember it's not extra money in your pocket. It's benefits being taken away that you're going to find out perhaps too late that you're going to have to supplement. You're going to have to replace. We've got problems. We've got huge economic problems coming in our direction, and probably the only people that are at least remotely prepared are going to be people that invest. It's going to be people that practice the GMB3, doing their own research, knowing their entries and exits, and absolutely investing deliberately. I think those are the only people that are going to be actually prepared. Of course, that's doesn't count the already wealthy, and institutions, companies. Those entities are already going to do fine because they've got discounted taxes. Oh, we're going to bring jobs to your area. I'm telling you, I think we're going to feel it in jobs. I think we're going to feel it in insurance. I think we're going to feel it in real estate, both commercial and retail. Go research real estate around the world and then come back to the United States and see how did those mess up and how are we messing up here? Are we on the same path? Go do that. Oh, dang. 12 eggs, a dozen eggs in Phoenix is $9. And I feel like I missed a whole bunch of stuff. It's all name tags. People think confiscation of assets is a concern. Hate to say, they have a new way. Inflation is a tool that does the same thing. The difference is with inflation, it's anonymous. Ooh. Hutanic dropping pearls. Things have changed. In insurance, we say that risk has a material change. My thinking of Bitcoin now is risk off. Yep. I agree. Bitcoin is risk off. If you don't understand what risk off is, I'm not going to ask anybody here today to actually go look it up for you. It's a part of you doing your homework. Go do your own research. Fundamentals. Start with the fundamentals. That's why I was talking about my book. Start with the fundamentals. If it gets down to it, they can have my house and I will keep my Bitcoins. Yeah. Sounds like a Bezos move. You can have the money, babe. You can have the money, but I need to keep my shares. Yeah, he gave her the bulk of the money, but kept 75% of the shares. She got 25%. Yeah. But $9. Yikes. And what's the cost of eggs? Oil is down. So logistics, transportation, that's not a heavy hit. What are the cost of eggs? Oh, you have chickens. They pop them out every day. What's the cost of eggs? Oh, eggs came down 6%. Oh, eggs came down this percent. They're still up 50% from a year ago. Now, here's what's funny. It's a rolling kind of thing. So if the egg prices stay the same as time marches on, it stays at $9, let's say, in a year from now, it's $9. Then they'll be able to say, well, it hasn't changed. It's 0% change in a year. $9 is still expensive for a freaking egg, for freaking 12 eggs. People aren't paying attention to these fundamentals. One of my best friends in the world, closest friends in the world. I mean, like 3 a.m. phone call. I need you. I'm just getting dressed. That kind of friend was like, what's wrong with tariffs? They're reciprocal tariffs and blah, 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 blah. I was like, I'm going to say this once and only once. Go do the math. Once you're done with the math, see who it actually hurts. Go do that. Haven't heard jack out of him since. Haven't heard anything. There's the core of four. It's the four of us, right? And like I said, he's a 3 a.m. friend. He calls me at 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm not asking questions. All black, hopping in the car. That's it. No questions. None. Not a single one. We'll do what we have to do and we'll never talk about it again. And I just had to school him. And he's a big red hat wearing fool. Because he's not doing the math. You want to know why he's not doing the math? And this is a pool of people. Single, no kids. So not necessarily paying attention to, what's actually hitting. But you start to realize my grocery bill is going up. For that $100, I used to get this last year. This year, I'm only getting this. For $100, you used to come home with bags, right? You don't come home with bags now. You'd be lucky if you come home with a bag, a full bag. I'm not kidding. I'm dead serious. I went to the store today. I dropped 90 something dollars. The only reason why the bag was full is because there was a watermelon in it. Going fishing with Dad tomorrow, so we're going to slice up some watermelon because he likes watermelon. So does my brother and so do my boys. I like watermelon, but I'm not in love with it. I'm not going to miss it if it's gone. So yeah, people have not planned on the house dropping in value, but their municipality needs more funding. Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, I'm going to read that one again. It's so good. People have not planned on their house dropping in value, but their municipality needs more funding. 10 years from now, they didn't plan on 10x property taxes. They will sell, driving values down. Wow. This is like in your face. This is in your face. We're not talking about things that you have not seen or are seeing. We're talking about things that are here and now, right now. Egg prices, $9 for a dozen in Arizona. I'm telling you now, that price, I don't think it's going to go down. There are 3 major corporations that control egg prices. I gave you the example earlier this year, right? That this one company made 3x earnings just by changing the egg prices. If you make 3x on earnings, that means that you raise prices and your costs didn't change. Huh. That's called greed. That's called greed. What else happened this week that, kind of set me off? Market volatility. Bitcoin prices dropping down to 98 and then popping back up to 107. War. Nobody's paying attention at the moment. That's what happened. Right? Just saying. I don't know why Stitch is going nuts. Hold on. Stitch is going absolutely crazy. And he's not mad. Those aren't mad barks. Those are happy barks. But you have a whole bunch of stuff going on and you're like, holy moly. You're just like, holy moly. If you're paying attention to what's going on, you're stopping and you're thinking about it. During that whole, not crash, but that whole drop below 100K and then back up, $440 million in liquidations. Right? $440 million in liquidations. And do I expect it to happen again? Yeah. Hutanik, I'm thinking the same thing. It's sad that we're numb to it. War is nothing. The war that Russia is waging against Ukraine is still going on. It's still going on. Did we not learn? Russia thought they were just going to walk all over Ukraine, and they haven't. They've taken major losses. Right? And that affected the global economy. Still affecting the global economy. Now we have everything going on with Iran. First it was Israel and Iran. Now it's the United States, Israel versus Iran. Iran's got friends. Now what's going to happen? I don't think much. I think that it can linger, but I don't think from a world war perspective, I don't think that's going to happen. Why? Because, well, nobody's in that position. Russia couldn't possibly. They might be able to supply some armaments, but I want you to stop and think about this. Russia was getting armaments from other countries. So imagine you're getting armaments from other countries. And now one of your friends that actually gave you the drones, for example, is hurting. So that makes the Middle East a problem for the world. The Strait of Hormuz, all right, 20-30% of the world's oil travels through there. That's going to be a problem. Ships are already being rerouted. If you take that path, high level of insurance. Go the reroute path, high level cost. Takes more energy to circle all the way around and takes more time. Yeah, so there's a lot that's going on. There's a lot that people are contemplating right now. How is that going to affect us over the next week? Don't know. The big BM of a bill is supposed to be done by this coming Friday. Tariff deadline is supposed to be July 9th. Meanwhile, we're dealing with a regime that has no problem kicking the can down the road for just about anything. Look at TikTok. Just saying. Right? Strategy, still buying Bitcoin out the wazoo. ECD Automotive, the ticker symbol is ECDA, is buying Bitcoin and offering $21,000 discounts for anybody that buys their products using Bitcoin. I mean, I don't agree with how they marketed that. I thought it was a horrible strategy. Whoever their marketing company is should just get fired. Because they crammed all of their news into one tiny little news thing. And nobody's going to pay attention to the $21,000 discount. They're all paying attention to, oh, you're buying Bitcoin for a treasury. Woohoo. I mean, you should go take a look to see, like, was there any sustained benefit from that announcement? I don't think so. I think so many companies are starting to buy Bitcoin to start a treasury. I think so many companies are doing that it's people are going to make, companies are going to make that announcement and nothing. It's not going to move. Won't even register. Like, bloop, won't even register. Because it's becoming like the new thing. Sort of like, we have a website. That's nice. What do you look at people like now? You look at me, oh, that's cute. You have a website. That's really nice. It's really nice. So yeah, you pay attention to this stuff. Here's something else I wanted to bring forward. 82% of high net worth U.S. investors, assets greater than $500,000, demand a crypto savvy financial advisor. Let that wash over you for a moment. That's not a small thing. And that's high net worth people that are saying you better know something about, crypto. For those people that are just getting into investing or think that they're not at that level, you should be paying attention to crypto as a part of your portfolio. Real estate, stocks, that whole stock market thing, bonds, options, all that, right? Investing in businesses, you should be paying attention to crypto as a part of your overall portfolio, even if it's the portfolio you're just trying to build. Even if it's just a portfolio that you're envisioning that you're going to build. Crypto, to me, for my portfolio, is a nice part of my portfolio. I pay attention to that hugely. Big league. Yeah. Why? Because there's a certain amount of risk and a certain amount of reward. Which is why I have the GMB3, which is why we have the GMB crypto tracker, because I have the GMB X factor that tells me this is what the risk is. This is how far it has to go from here to its all-time high. Incredibly useful information. Almost ridiculously useful information. What else happened last week? Let's see here. Some 19-year-old was found guilty, and then the DOJ is like, yo, no, we don't want this guy getting out of jail, because we only recovered a $245 million, heist. We only recovered $37 million, a lot of millions of dollars, as a reason to escape. And we believe that he's got people that would help him escape. Got to pay attention to that one, because we don't know what's going to happen there. What else do we have? We've got... Where's this guy at? There you go. Circle's IPO success. Yeah, it ballooned up and it came back down. But where it came back down to is still a great place. Here is some reality for you. Circle is only as valuable as its market cap, to me, as its market cap as a stable with their stable coin. Because what else do you do? So far, to me, you're only a one-trick pony. And the bulk of the money that's made from, Circle is collected by Coinbase. So just what's your setup now? What's your next trick? Because if you're already being viewed as being more valuable than what you actually are, actual value versus perceived value. Yes, I pay attention to that. Because perception can become reality real fast in that kind of case. And I just don't look at Circle as being all that valuable. But who are you comparing Circle to? You have nobody to compare Circle to because Tether's not perfect. I mean, not public. They could, and if they did go public, they would absolutely blow Circle out of the water. Completely blow Circle out of the water. Circle's perceived value, I believe, would plummet if Tether ever decided to go IPO. Doubtful that they will, because if you don't need the money, why do you go IPO? Oh, do you go IPO to spread the risk? No, that's dumb. That's the old way of thinking. That's what they say to you to convince you to go IPO. Oh, you spread out the risk and blah, 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 blah. You ever see those new reels, those new TikToks where, the husband says that he's right or the kid says that they're right and the mom, the wife or the mom hits him in the throat and walks away? Yeah, it's one of those kind of deals. Just saying. What else happened this past week that we should be paying attention to for next week? WW3 meme coins. Yeah, World War III meme coins. Came and went. Yeah. And people made money off of it. And a whole bunch of other people did not. They were in the other bucket. The loser bucket. Just saying, just putting it out there for you. These are some realistic things. So what's the lesson from this going forward? Meme coins are nothing. These new meme coins are nothing. Jack. Okay? A cool name. A catchy name. A cute name. A funny name. It's a name. There's no use case. If there's no use case, there's no reason for me to be interested in it. None. No reason. So why would I? Just saying. So be careful if you're looking at meme coins. Be ridiculously careful. Is there an opportunity to X your money? Right? Yeah, you could 1X, 2X, 10X, 100X your money. Yeah. Just remember, the higher the X, the more risk there is. Just saying. I have a couple of friends that do meme coins all the time. I have a couple of friends that do like micro cap coins all the time, like even below micro cap coins, because it's a calculated risk for them. But remember that. It's a calculated risk for them. What does it mean to have a calculated risk? It means that you've done your own research. You understand your entries and exits, and you're absolutely investing deliberately. That's what that means. Calculated risk. Not, ooh, that sounds nice. Yeah, no. That's not what we do here. That's not what we do here. So you want to pay attention to those things. All right? There's a lot going on. There's a lot. Right? Stablecoins, USDC is doing well. USDC and Circle are doing well. But I just gave you that story so that you can put things in perspective. I just want you to put things in perspective. What else does Circle do? How many ways does Circle make money that doesn't involve a stablecoin, their stablecoin? One trick pony, and your valuation is like ridiculously high. I hope they start doing other things, diversifying from that. If you look at Tether, that's exactly what they're doing. They've been diversifying for a while. Oh, we're making this amount of money, this amount of money, this amount of money. And they just started investing in other things away from just their stable coin. Again, things that people are not necessarily paying attention to that you should be paying attention to. These are big deals. So yeah, do your own research, understand your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Just saying. There's a lot going on. So for me, the key takeaways are Bitcoin remains a key hedge. Meme coins and speculative trends, they're speculative because they're iffy, they're risky, and the risk is, or the chances are, that it's going to be what it is. Just saying. So yeah, pay attention. Pay attention out there. You guys think I'm playing around and I'm annoying as all get out when I tell you about the GMB3 every 5 minutes? Yes, it's on purpose. I've got friends that are watching right now that are like, oh my God, why does he always ask me, if I invested in myself today? Because for us, it's what we do. It's a part of our natural routine. For other people, they haven't developed that routine yet. So if they hear it from us, they'll go, oh, maybe I should do that too. Maybe I should be paying attention to things too. Because if you notice, I give you the news and then I start connecting dots for you. And I'm expecting you to connect some dots and share it back with the community so that we can all learn, so we can all manage our bags. But there's a lot of risk out there right now, and we're going to have to, just pay attention to that risk. Hutanic has been sitting here giving you all kinds of things with regard to risk management. Most of you don't realize, but you actually do have a risk framework, whether it be, in the back of your head, whatever it is, you all have a risk framework, a position from which you decide whether or not you're going to make an investment or not. It's just not codified or solidified or anything else like that, which is why I tell you, pay attention. Start paying attention to these things. They're not small things. Over the next week, we have a few things that are gonna affect us. One, Iran, period. The next thing, the big BM of a bill. The next thing, tariffs. Those are three of the biggest things that are going to affect us this week. Something else that I think is going to affect us. There are a lot of companies out there calling for firing people, layoffs. And they're holding off for as long as they can, but those layoffs are coming. Those layoffs are coming. Look up WARN, W-A-R-N. Look up WARN in your state. W.A.R.N. Look that up. And you'll see a list of companies that say, we're going to be firing people in your state. This is the number of people and the locations in which they will be fired or laid off. And those are for the ones that are actually reporting. Some, like a lot of large organizations, will not report that. They instead find it cheaper to pay the fine. Will pay the fine when it happens. Because especially publicly traded companies do that. Why? Because if we tell the street, if we don't see that telling the street we're having layoffs is going to be a good thing, we don't want to talk about it. And even if it is going to be seen as a good thing, we don't want to talk about it. So yeah, we kind of want to pay attention. We kind of want to pay attention. So there's a lot going on this week that we need to pay attention to. Right? Rick Ritchie, I'm going to read to you what he said. This is what Rick Ritchie says. I'm a big red hat fool too. I just listen to you, all point of views. Smart man, all points of view. Points of view that you agree with, points of view that you don't agree with, because they're going to be pearls on either side, or they could be pearls on either side. I choose not to debate politics. Smart. Out of the two options, I went for the latter. Government is going off a cliff no matter who is driving. That part I disagree with, but I understand where you're coming from. I really do. To a certain extent, I actually believe you're correct. I just don't believe wholeheartedly in that piece. But yeah, it's going off a cliff. Gone off the cliff. Yeah, no, Rick doesn't agree with me in certain things. But the point is that we do agree on a lot of things. I used to have a friend he passed away. And Doug was a big red hat wearing fool. Let me rephrase. Doug was not a big red hat wearing fool. He was a big time Republican. There's a difference. And you know what we noticed over the years of our friendship before he passed away? The distance between us on certain issues was sometimes not thick enough, not wide enough to pass a piece of paper through. That's how close we were. When we actually sat down and broke it down, that says a lot. What's going on now, though, that to me is not a Republican thing. The idea that you would cut off benefits that are going to affect your constituents. I mean, one of those senators, one of the congressmen in his constituents in his district, 35% of the people absolutely rely on Medicaid. 40 some odd percentage. Actually, it's 40 something percent that rely on it, and 35% that can't live without it. Think about that. So with all of those people losing benefits, what happens to those people? Those people are still alive. They need jobs. Are they going to find them where they are? Rural America? Or are they going to find them? Probably not. So what's going to happen? Are we walking? I mean, I think about this from a high level all the time. Are we walking down the same road as as a lot of the countries around the world, where we've got people leaving rural areas, leaving rural life to go find jobs in urban environments? Go do the research on that. The numbers say that people are migrating to big cities and away and outside of rural and suburban areas because they need the work. It's a very big deal. Something that scares me, that just sticks in the back of my mind, is a major downfall of real estate and or insurance in the very near future. I think those things are just waiting. Those explosions could be bigger than 2008. Scary. Now you know why I prep so much. Now you know why I tell you guys to prep so much. Just saying. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do, join the community. Become a permanent member. Smash the likes. Tell your friends about us. We're doing things differently over here. I got to go because, I can smell the barbecue from here. Just saying. Just saying. And everybody, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you so much for your trust. It means a lot. And I will work to fight for it every day. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.